Verstappen does it again at the Emilia Romagna in Italia. Epic race. Epic race. All right, race fans. Welcome to This Week in Formula One. We are reviewing race number 7, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, held in Imola, Italy. Whoa! Epic racing stuff. 63 laps. Of course, we had a safety car, and of course, we had a virtual safety car. Both safety cars on Kimi Antonelli and Ocon. But before we talk about Ocon and Kimi Antonelli and Max dominating everybody, we have to talk about the newest face on the grid. And that is Colapinto, if I'm saying that name. Franco Colapinto. Franco Colapinto. Yes, replaces Jack Doohan for the Alpine. Now, before we dive into that, we are aware that Doohan has been having a horrible time racing out there. Man hasn't finished in the top 10, let alone the top 15, I think. If I could be wrong. I think his highest position is 14th throughout the race. Could be wrong. But I think that is, let me check. Hold on a sec. Oh, he's finished. He's actually, nope. His highest position is 13. The man has the highest crashing rate this season so far, costing Alpine over 1.12 million in repairs for his car. So having the highest damage bill is grounds for getting, shifted aside. So my man's being replaced by Franco Colapinto. I'm gonna enjoy saying this name. Hopefully he lasts. Franco Colapinto. A very lovely name indeed. Now, before we talk, where did Franco Colapinto finish? My man qualified in 15th, so that was already interesting in my book. But where did the buddy finish? Because a lot of commission was finishing. He finished 16th, a point down. He was ahead of Berman, Antonelli, and Ocon. Bear in mind, Ocon and Antonelli finished or discontinued because of engine failure to both of their cars. But of course, we'll find out more on details after or throughout the course of the week. What happened to their engines, why they did not have power moving forward. But enough about Jack Doohan. Let's talk about the real racers. A quick summary of the race before I finish off. Verstappen won it. He started second. So, yeah. Third victory this season for Verstappen. So what we have here is 3 victories for McLaren for Oscar, 3 victories for Verstappen, and 1 victory for Norris. Interesting indeed. And of course, somehow Norris is still second after winning only 1 race, fam. That is what happens when you know how to race. Okay, let's get down to business and talk about the race. Lando Norris finished second. We know this. A very strong second. Man moved up from 4th to 2nd. Great stuff. Keeping and getting Red Bull more points. Not Red Bull. Getting McLaren points every bloody race. He's doing wonders. And of course, my man, Piastri, started in pole, but lost his grip from the first bloody lap, fam. Couldn't hold Verstappen back, and Verstappen just went. I'm impressed that I could actually do that. Okay, some of the biggest highlights is this was Ferrari's home race, so we expected Hamilton and Charles Leclerc to actually do better in the race, but Leclerc struggled in qualifying. He finished fourth. No, he finished sixth, right? Hamilton finished ahead of him, right? Hold on a sec. Yes, Hamilton finished ahead of Leclerc. So, yeah. So McLaren finishing second and third, then Ferrari finishing fourth and sixth. But for me, I'm really, 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 really impressed by Williams' team. I think they are the highlight of the show for me. I mean, Carlos Sainz finished 8th and Albon finished 5th. Granted, if you were watching the race, and if you weren't watching, I'll tell you, there was nothing. Verstappen was in the lead from the get-go, and the race was over. He was ahead by 20 seconds or more at one point. So, forget about Verstappen. Heck, forget about number 2, number 3. But then again, we also have to account how amazing Oscar's driving was when he went to pit and he got back into the track at 11th and he just drove past everybody like they weren't there. That was some brilliant driving. That was brilliant, I have to say. Let's not talk. The biggest action for me while watching this race was that 4th, 5th, 6th position. That was a lot of fighting. We had the likes of Hamilton, Albon, and Carlos Sainz. Even Hajar at one point was fighting in to get into those positions. And Hajar got 2 points, my brother. He was brilliant in this race. So basically, Lawson is the only Red Bull driver that didn't get a point. When you look at the fact that Racing Bull's Hajar got 2 points. Yuki Tsunoda. My God, this guy started the race in the pit lane, fam. 20th. That means he crashed in the qualifiers. So Mandem crashing me, Mandem ain't starting in the track, but Mandem somehow passed 10 drivers and got himself a point. I know we're going to say that, the Red Bull car is difficult. It's curated for Max to drive it on its own. Every driver has struggled with it. Yes, every driver has struggled with it. That is a fact. But I'm very much impressed with Kimi. Not with Kimi. Why am I confusing Kimi and Yuki? I'm impressed with Yuki Tsunoda by the sense that he's fighting every week to get points. He's not getting enough to help in the Constructors' Cup, but he's getting points on the board. That's more than can be said by Lawson, who's very much struggling. Mandem finished 14th. But, of course, I'm also disappointed with Antonelli. This is his first time ever since becoming a Formula 1 driver. That means man finished in points in 6 out of 7 races. For a rookie, that is impressive. Very, very impressive. And the fact that he did not crash, his car failed him. So Mercedes failed Kimi. He didn't fail them. That speaks volumes. And I think this should be the blueprint on how a rookie should be integrated. You give him the best car, the best chance to fight. Wow. Like I said, he's going to be racer of the season for me in terms of the youngest. Brilliant. Home race he couldn't finish. Sad for him. But nonetheless, it's a brilliant race. McLaren got their range on that Construction Cup. both hands. I don't think no one is passing them unless they start crashing out on every bloody race, fam. I don't think that's possible because we've got a long way to go. 7 out of 24 races. We still got a lot of racing to do, and it's going to be really epic how things pan out, as the season progresses. Anyway, we did have some shocking qualifiers. Like I already said, Oscar had pole position, but he finished third. Ferrari had a disaster. Leclerc and Hamilton both got knocked out in Q2, so they had to really fight from out of that 10th position into the points. They fought from out of the points into the points. That's amazing. I mean, they started out of number 10. I think they started 11 and 12 and finished 4th and 6th. Beautiful, in my opinion, if you ask me. And of course, I already mentioned, surprise performers of this race are going to be the Alpines and the Williams. Wow. Wow, indeed. Wow, indeed. Now, granted, Gasly almost crashed out at one point when he got off the track. And you have to notice that the track in Imola has gravel on it, on the side. On the chicane on the side like that. So, one mistake, you're on the gravel, fam. You're on concrete. And you don't want to be there. And I have to say that, with the qualifiers, it was very impressive to see how Williams and Alpine somehow outqualified Mercedes. But then again, even when you look at the fact that they even finished the race ahead of Russell, Kimi couldn't finish, that was impressive. For me, that was very impressive. And of course, the race was filled with a lot of different team strategies on what to do and how to work. Of course, McLaren whipped out a new rear wing, which worked pretty well in the qualifiers. So that was nice for them. And I think it did well also in the race. But Verstappen was just a possessed man who was just driving. And of course, Verstappen is also the luckiest driver in the history of driving. I mean, dude pitted during the virtual safety. That's 18 seconds off. That's 10 seconds off. You pitting when no one's going to overtake you. That's brilliant. And then an actual safety car went on when Kimi bowed out of the race. Also benefiting Max Verstappen again. And of course, I think the unluckiest person here has to be during this race, of course. I know Alonso talked about him being the most unluckiest driver during the race. But Norris pitted a lap before the safety. Man, that must have been painful. Now, there's no guarantee if he pitted during the safety car, whether virtual or not, he would have gotten past Verstappen. I don't know. But maybe it would have given him a chance. But Verstappen was flying, bruv. Mandem was flying. And you have to know with the fact that Norris finished 6 seconds behind Verstappen. And the gap was wider, fam, before the safety cars pulled up. So, brilliant in my opinion. It really is. Of course, talking about the mechanical improvements as well, Verstappen had a new suspension tweak, which improved his racing pace, I think. Probably why he was really like a possessed man. So, yeah. Anyway, as it stands with the championship, let's finish the review before I lose myself. As it stands, I'm going to read the top three positions. As it stands, after 7 races this season, Oscar Piastri of McLaren has 131 points, with Lando Norris, his teammate, also McLaren, with 115 points. So Norris just needs to win a race to hurdle over him. And my man Oscar just needs to stay in the top 3, bruv. Just staying in the top 3. Like, Verstappen is on 3rd and he has a 99 point of Red Bull. So, as it stands, McLaren will win the Drivers' Championship, either with Oscar or Norris. What they have to do is stay in pole positions, stay on podium. Max can win a lot of races, fam, but as long as these brothers stay in pole position, stay in podium, fam, one of them will win it. And of course, it's clear to see, bruv, McLaren Construction Cup have over 100 points. Exactly 105 points over their competition. And their next competition is Mercedes-Benz. Of course, let me tell you, McLaren has 246 points so far this season, and Mercedes have 141. Like I said, that's a 105 point gap on the construction lap. And of course, Red Bull with 105. Mostly all because of Verstappen. With Yuki, I think, adding 6 points. That is bad. That is horrible. But it's something. We'll give him a little paycheck, a little paper to do better next season. With the fact that they won't be using a Honda engine next season, they can take all the money they need this season. Right. Both, as I read, McLaren's lead both drivers and Construction Cup Championship this season. Can they keep Red Bull at bay? Who knows? One thing's for sure, Russell needs to pull up his socks and try to get some points. Kimi, just be you, buddy. You're doing great. Hamilton, during this race, seems like he's getting a hand of this Formula 1 Ferrari car. I think he's getting grasps with it. He's getting familiar with it. His driving was slightly better today. I saw a flicker of the old Hamilton. I saw a flicker. Just a little incy flicker of Hamilton. He might come back. He might not. But I saw a little bit of him. And with that, I'm impressed. Of course, historical, interesting things about today's race. The circuit contract expires after this year. So, I don't know, maybe they'll work on a new one. But that seemed like it was the final one. Who knows? Maybe they'll renegotiate. Who knows? And of course, this was Max Verstappen's 400th race. Incredible. The fourth time. Is it fourth time or third time? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's fourth time. Let's just say third time. Which is 4.5. I don't know. And of course, this was McLaren's 200th podium finish. Yes, they've been doing great. Anyway, final thought. Monaco next week. Street racing. It's time for some street racing in Monaco. The home, not the home, but Charles Leclerc. It's gonna be at home. Alpine, France, Funka, that. So, and we know how Norris struggles at Monaco. I think he won there once. I'm not entirely sure. But we know he struggles. I'm just trying to jog my memory. We know Norris struggles at there. So, tight corners, street racing in Monaco. Next week's gonna be lit. Anyway, who was your driver of the day? I was mostly impressed by Albion. And of course, the regulars. Piastri did some brilliant driving there, as he always does. And the bulldog, that is Verstappen, just... Wing! Okay, oh fuck. I did it the first time, now I can't do it. Okay, I can't. Stop bothering your ears. Anyway, usually I would say don't forget to like and hit the comment section and all that, but I've got an outro that says that. But I like to know, who was your driver today? Who impressed you the most? Of course, I have a few nominations. I was impressed by, in no particular order, by Yuki. Start 20th to getting a point, crashing out in the qualifiers and getting a point. Brilliant. I was impressed by the Williams drivers, Albon and Carlos Sainz. Brilliant for them getting into the points. Getting 14 points, both of them together, will be great for that Construction Cup, in my opinion. So it will do wonders for them. It really will. It will do brilliant for them, in my opinion. And as it stands, the Williams have 51 points. So, yeah. But it's 51, right? I think so. Could be wrong. There's a pass. Oh, right. Oh, sorry about that. There's an update I forgot. The point tally I gave you about the Construction Cup are old points. The updated ones are as follows. Sorry. The ones I gave you are last week's ones, so my bad. McLaren has 279. Mercedes has 147. Makes more sense. Red Bull have 131. Ferrari have 114. Williams have 51. Haas fam, have 20. Aston Martin 14. Racing Bulls have 10. And Alpine have 7. And of course, Ferrari have 6. That's the car that's going to be called Audi next season. Hey, that means... Hold on, let me check the points as well. If I got the points wrong, I might have gotten the driver's points wrong as well. So I need to make sure that is not the case. Because if that is the case, I will embarrass myself. And I'm not big on that. What points to the... Oh, I got the points right. By the looks of it. Verstappen has 124, not 105. Oops, right. I got the points wrong as well. Verstappen doesn't have 99, he has 124. Lando Norris doesn't have 115, he has 133. Oscar has 146, not 131. The ones I gave you are last week's shit. The ones I'm giving you now are the actual ones that are live right now. I'm looking at the damn website. I don't know why. I wrote this shit in my phone and I didn't check if these were accurate. Embarrassing. Good thing I checked. Anyway, as it stands, Duan left without having points. Lawson has no points. Yikes. And Alonso has no points. Berman has 6. Hulkenberg has 6. Hajar has a 7. Pierre Gasly has 7. Tsunadi has a 10. Carlos Sainz has 11. Stroll of Aston Martin, the man who owns the company, has a 14. Ocon of Haas has a 14. Albon of Williams has a 40 points. Antonelli, gimme, of Italia has 48. And of course, Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton has a 53. And Charles Leclerc, 61. And George Russell, 99. And of course, the 3 top dogs, who I think Drivers' Championship is going to either these 3. Unless McLaren start crashing races, getting disqualified. It will be them. But you never know with the Max of Verstappen, the man that can pull a miracle out of the back. He has 124, like I said, and Norris of Great Britain, 133, and the Australian, Oscar Piastri, who's Italian, by the way, has 143 points. Okay, that is it from me. That is it from headquarters. This is it from headquarters here at the Chanson. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in my bedroom. It would have been funny if I was. That's it from headquarters here at the Chanson Network studio. Back to you, Phil. I don't know who the fuck is Phil, but anyway. Ciao, Bella. See you in Monaco. I'll be in my room, but you know what I mean. See you in Monaco, nigga. Jesus. Now that was entertaining. Please let us hang out yet another time. Remember to like and subscribe. Adios.